Hello and welcome to DCTV Recap. I'm Jason Inman.
I'm Ashley Victoria Robinson.
This is the show where we take your questions about the DCTV shows, The Flash, Arrow, Legends of Tomorrow, Constantine, Legends of Tomorrow, and Supergirl, and we answer them all in one tiny YouTube video. Let's get into the new questions. First off, we're going to announce the winner of last week's contest sometime during this video, so keep your peepers peeled. And then we're going to have a brand new contest somewhere in this video, so keep watching, my super friends. First question comes from Scam Nation, who says, "Hey, Jason and Ashley.
Hello.
Do you think The Flash should do Godspeed as a main villain / Reverse Flash returning character? I think he would be a good character for that." Okay, so let's explain who Godspeed is real quick. When DC Rebirth happened, they sort of rebranded all the DC titles. The Flash Rebirth series started with a brand new villain called Godspeed. Now, Godspeed got his powers because Central City sort of got a Speed Force storm where lightning hit a bunch of people, and suddenly there were like, I don't know, how many would you say, like 30 to 50 people with super speed?
As many as we needed to tell the story.
And do you remember Godspeed's real name? I
August something.
Let's just call him August. So he is a friend. I believe he is also on the police force in that story.
He's Barry's best friend who you've never met before.
He's Barry's best friend who you've never met before. And over the course of the thing, you find out that Godspeed has been attacking people, and you find out that, oh no, it's very similar to season 1 of The Flash. So Ashley, let's talk about this.
Yeah.
Do you think Godspeed could be the villain of season 4 of The Flash? We've already seen the Speed Force storm on the show twice now.
Yeah, we've actually mentioned Godspeed in our Flash reviews and here a couple times in the past. Do I think he could? Sure.
Yeah.
Would I like to see it? Over speedster villains.
Okay. And now, do you still feel that? Because we've had problems with the Thinker season, this season, a non-speedster villain.
That's true, but I appreciate that we're getting more creative things out of this season. The solution isn't always Barry's just gotta run faster. I think it forces them to make more creative choices, which sometimes work and sometimes don't, and that's what you get when you have 23-episode season. I actually think it would be, the way you could do Godspeed and make me interested in it is if Godspeed is this secret messenger girl.
Secret messenger girl.
I don't know what her name is.
You mean the caterer girl?
Yeah.
That's not Godspeed.
I know, but like that, to me, that would be interesting. Do I need another male speedster, the same kind of villain we had for 3 out of 4 seasons? Not really. I think there are other speedsters who come out of that run that I would rather see before I would want to see August. Personally, also, we did the thing with Julian Alpert where we already saw Barry get a new buddy.
A new buddy / villain.
Who came out of nowhere, and it was fine. I don't know if I need to revisit that. I think there's a lot of good things in the Godspeed arc that I would like to see lifted before the character himself, I guess is what it comes down to. How about you?
Yeah, see, I think the bigger problem with Godspeed is the fact of that he is basically a repeat of Harrison Wells and a repeat of Hunter Zolomon. And by that I mean is that his identity is mysterious and then like, oh no, he's the shocking villain.
Yeah.
Like it would just be a repeat of that story. Now, do I think Godspeed is a cool character? Yes. Do I think Godspeed's design is cool? Yes. Do I think the idea of a Speed Force storm granting people powers is a great idea for a season of The Flash? Yes, I do. But I don't know if I need to see the villain again. Yeah, I to be honest with you, if they're going to do, and I thought they were going to do this at the end of season 3 instead of taking Barry to the Speed Force for no apparent reason.
Yeah.
I thought they were going to give a bunch of people in Central City powers, and I thought that I would rather see a villain that would figure out a way to corral the speedsters or figure out a way to make the speedsters his army instead of another speedster being the villain again. Here's my prediction, though.
Okay.
They're going to do Godspeed. I know.
Sure.
When will they do Godspeed? I don't know. They might do them in season 5. They might do them in season 6. They might wait till Godspeed till season 10. Because I do think The Flash will go 10 seasons. But we will see Godspeed because there is one thing about The Flash. The Flash doesn't have many A-list
iconic villains.
Iconic villains or even speedsters. We've kind of already used them with the exception of Godspeed. So that tells me that we are going to see Godspeed somewhere down the line.
You think we see Godspeed first or Max Mercury?
Godspeed. I don't know, man. I don't know if Max Mercury's ever going to make it on this show because Max Mercury's very tied into Impulse, and this show seems very afraid to do anything tied to Impulse.
I can't believe we haven't seen Impulse yet.
You know, it's weird. All the sort of 90s generational characters, all of these shows don't want to touch them. They do not, with the exception of Thunder and Lightning.
Well, I have a feeling about maybe why they're not doing Impulse.
So, anyways, let's move on to the next question. That you can ask Ashley her
ask
thoughts.
Us and we'll answer it next
There
week.
you go. Jeremiah Vink, who has the profile picture of Bob Ross. That's not your real face. Do you think we'll ever see a future version of Roy Harper with a robot arm like he used to have in the comics on one of the DCTV shows? All right, so we know Roy Harper is a main cast member next season. I'm very excited about that. Ashley, are you a fan of robot arm Roy Harper? You're a fan of Roy Harper.
I'm a fan of Roy Harper. I'm a fan of the robot arm aesthetically.
Mm-hmm.
I can get behind a good robot arm on a character, but robot arm Roy Harper's kind of an asshole.
Sure.
And a deadbeat dad, and like not a great human. So I don't know if I need to revisit that specific version of the character. We had Oliver without an arm, and that was kind of cool. So if we could,
in Legends, yep.
Yeah. So if we could find a good story reason to rip his arm off and give him a prosthetic, I'd be down for that. But I don't necessarily need to. Kind of like my Godspeed feelings. I don't necessarily need to revisit the whole of that version of Roy Harper. I don't ever need to see Cheshire. Ever. That character sucks.
Oh, get ready. We'll see Cheshire.
I hate
We're going to see Cheshire next season. Get ready for it.
So much. You think Speedy's going to come back and be like, I'm Cheshire now?
No, I don't think Speedy ever comes back to the show.
Oh, interesting.
I think, but because of that, I think we see Cheshire next season because we'll have to give Roy a love interest.
Why?
Yeah.
You can't give Curtis one.
Look, it's weird because would I like to see robot arm Roy Harper? Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. I think it's an interesting storyline for him. They kind of repeated this storyline with the Mirakulu in season 2.
Oh.
So, and if you don't know anything about The Walking Dead, one of the Rick Grimes' main features is that very early on in the series, he gets his arm chopped off, and he doesn't have a hand for the rest of the series. Now, 8 seasons into The Walking Dead, they have not done that to Andrew Lincoln, even though people are begging for it. And I kind of understand it. It's a little weird to have a main character have a disability like that. Now, do I think it would make for a great story? Yes. Do I think it would make it for a compelling story? Oh, yes. But I don't know if they're going to do that to a main cast member. And if they do that to Roy Harper, I think very quickly Star Labs would build him a fake arm and it would just look like his normal arm real quick.
Right, which is exactly what they did on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And it's not that having a lead character be disabled is a bad thing. It's from a production standpoint that's bringing extra work onto someone.
Even if they did like a Winter Soldier arm, like that's CGI that they'd have to do every single episode, ups the budget. I don't know if we'll see it just because of practical production reasons, but I do want to see it. So, okay. Next question is Ryan Abney, Jason and Ashley. For Supergirl, do you think they should introduce Mongol and Warworld as the big bad for season 4? They've hinted at it a couple of times already in the show. That is true. They've already mentioned Mongol and Warworld in Supergirl. I don't know. I don't know how you do Warworld on Supergirl's budget, but you know what? It would be a fun thing if let's go crazy here for Supergirl season 4, Ashley. Let's have a couple episodes, a 2-episode arc. Supergirl is stuck in Warworld and she's fighting a la Planet Hulk other people. Mongol sees her and is like, "Oh man, you're my best fighter I've ever seen. I will have you." And then the rest of the season is him tracking her down. Like she comes through some dimensional vibe portal or whatever, and then the rest of the season is Mongol sending his agents to find her.
I'd rather see that as a crossover event than a season-wide arc.
Ooh, all the heroes get stuck in Warworld? That is a great idea. CW, you should be listening to Ashley V. Robinson.
I don't know if you can stretch
That's a great title for the crossover.
Games. Yeah,
Warworld.
Or like a battle royale. I don't know if that sustains over 20 plus episodes. And I don't know if Supergirl has the budget for it, but combined I think they could do it.
I'm gonna writer's room add to your pitch.
Sure.
Okay, here you go. So yeah, it's all of the main cast members from all the shows. So it's Arrow, it's Roy Harper, it's Supergirl, it's Alex, and they all have to fight each other.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
it's some of their villains as well.
Great.
So it's like this weird secret wars, and it's them trying to figure out how do we get out of the war world.
Great.
But then you cap it all with, you make it a battle royale, right? So I think you make it a thing where either people with powers, either their powers are limited but not completely turned off, so that way Oliver can be a fight. And then I think you make it the final fight is Oliver versus Supergirl.
Great.
It's the final two.
Great.
Because we've already seen Oliver beat Flash. So
this is also a way that you could try out some characters that you're not sure,
Oh,
like
yeah.
some villains too, that you could maybe bring down the pike later. Like I don't know why we haven't seen Rampage yet. She's also an evil scientist on Supergirl.
Supergirl villain.
You could debut her in War World if people like her. Bring her onto the show for a mini arc or something like that.
Fair point. I think we just got next year's crossover right now, or a good idea for next year's crossover. War World. Let's listen, CW. I know you're watching these videos because you demonetize them almost every day. So hey. Okay, real quick, we're going to have more questions, but I want to say we're on our march to 75,000 subscribers by the end of May. So if you're watching this video, if you enjoy this video, please click subscribe. Also, last week we did a contest to a random subscriber. If you subscribe to this channel, you are going to win a prize. And last week's prize was the Dr. Maru Pop Vinyl. That is going to Lola Howe. She is a subscriber of this channel, and I want to send it to her. So, Lola, please go to my main channel page, click the About section. There's a little email icon. Send me your address, and I will send you this pop vinyl.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Also, if you're not a subscriber, like I said, click subscribe, so that way you're going to be entered into this week's contest. This week's contest, the prize is what, Ashley?
It is Volume 1 of David F. Walker and Ivan Reyes.
Show it to the camera, please.
Cyborg.
Thank you. Yes, this is one of the best, if not the best, Cyborg solo runs.
It is.
So it's a fun and great trade paperback. So if you're wanting to read some Cyborg stories, it's for you. So a random subscriber will win this prize, and the only way you can win this prize is if you are a subscriber. So please click subscribe. Help us get to 75,000 subscribers by the end of May. All right, next question is Eric Hicks. Do you think any of the Arrowverse series will revisit Earth X again, or is the Earth X story pretty much done?
I think it's pretty much done. I think the only way we're going to get Earth X in a meaningful way for maybe more than just 1 or 2 scene cutaways would be if we get like a Ray and Freedom Fighters live action show. I don't know if it's coming back as a cartoon or not. Because I don't really understand how they decide which cartoons are coming back to the CW seed. I would love to see more of Earth X, though. That's the kind of thing that I would like to see more of. You don't think it's coming back?
No, it's not coming back.
Yeah.
The only way we'll see Earth X again is like we saw Earth X last week or a couple weeks ago. I can't remember when Captain Cold showed up.
Yeah.
When we visit there real quick, and it's just like, oh, hey, we're here. And then we come
There's still blimps.
It's going to become like Earth 2 was. Remember how Earth 2 was like this mysterious thing? And since then, we've only visited Earth 2 like once.
Yeah.
Really, once. It's because the story is done. The story of Earth X is done. We beat the Nazis. It's over. So there's no compelling story reason to go back unless the Nazis take over, but most of them died in the crossover, so I don't think it's going to happen. Now, we'll visit it here and there. We'll see characters here and there, but I think the characters you're mainly going to see are going to be like, yeah, Ray and Captain Cold, and that's about it.
Citizen Cold.
Citizen Cold, excuse me. All right, and the final question is Michael Turndrup, who asks, could next year's crossover, we already decided that, Michael, so rewind and watch the video.
Thanks, come back next week.
Let's just say, could a crossover be the DCTV version of Grant Morrison's Rock of Ages storyline? It is one of my favorite. Michael, it is one of my favorite as well. It is one of the best Justice League storylines of all time. It's basically members of the Justice League get stuck in time. They get sent to the future, and in the future they find out that Darkseid has taken over, and he's won, and they have to figure out how do we go back in time to stop him. One is, I don't know how much the DC TV shows can use Darkseid.
Yeah.
They mentioned Bruno Mannheim and Intergang, which are fourth world characters in Supergirl this week, but I don't know if they can actually use Darkseid. 2, this would almost have to be a storyline for a crossover as well. This storyline is so big. Oh, I guess it is for a crossover. I'm sorry, Michael. My apologies.
Sorry,
you're right.
He
was talking about a crossover. It's pretty complicated. I don't know. What do you feel about this?
Do you think there's a way to pull it off where it's one of the other fourth world characters that's not Darkseid who's wreaking all this havoc? You
mean like Calabac or something like that?
Yeah. Because Darkseid still might be embargoed for the film
movies,
universe or something else.
There is a shot.
I'll tell you what, though. I would love to see a fourth world story because I think Justin Theroux would make a killer Mr. Miracle.
If he's going to be Mr. Miracle, he needs to be the big budget. He needs to be the movie version of Mr. Miracle. I don't know. I think this story again might be too complicated.
I think it's too big.
It's too big, I think, for TV.
For our little TV universe.
Yeah, I really think so. But it's an amazing storyline. If you haven't read it, please, please, please go check it out. So go down in the comments and leave us a question for next week's video. Also, make sure you click subscribe so you're entered into our contest video for 75,000 subscribers.
And for more exclusive geeky content, check out patreon.com/Jawiin. Come join us in the Hall of Justice and become a super friend.
Stick around the channel. We got an Arrow review coming later today.